Welcome back to Bay Area Focus. Podcast host and money mindset expert Cassie Parks knows the value of a dollar, and we are so excited she's here with us to share her thoughts on how to make your dollar stretch. I love it. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
We need to know how to save our money, don't we?
Right.
All right, so you have this book. It's called Manifest $10,000.
Yes.
Yeah, so how do you stretch a dollar, and how do you make it last longer, and how do you make more money off of it?
That's the key right there, right? Is because that's the whole point of stretching it, having it, so that you can make more money off of it.
Yeah.
And I really like to teach people, just to become conscious. The first step is become conscious of what you're spending and what you're doing. We're having a great conversation about your daughter before, and actually teaching her to stop and think about, what am I spending money on? I think that's, number one, is that it's not just about going out and how much can I spend? Because I was that girl who went to the clearance rack and oh, I saved, $1,000. I spent $200. I don't love anything that's in my bag.
Sure.
But I saved it. And so it's really being more conscious of not just the saving and the spending, but what's the life you're creating with that?
Yeah, you say everyone has a money story that really influences your finances.
Yeah. I do. This I've learned just working with my clients after working with thousands of clients and writing the book and writing down the process. I realized there's about one of four money stories that people start with if they don't consciously choose. And this can be picked up from your parents. It can just be what you saw along life, what you decided, money was.
Yeah, so some of it's like survival.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't grow up with a lot of money, and so maybe you're a little more frugal. Even when you start making more money?
Yeah, even when you start making more money, or the survival story, often people will create situations that they have to survive in terms of money. They'll do things, like go out and do a big splurge to put themselves in that survival mindset where they have to go find the money, or they feel that. Because even though it sounds a little bit crazy that it feels safe in that place of survival, it's what we know. Our brains know we can handle that. So if that's your story, you're often putting yourself back in that story, even well beyond when you need to. You might be making $100,000 and you can still put yourself in that.
And another
category.
Common story is just enough.
Just enough. I have a client, and it was just, everything was just enough. So if the furnace broke, she knew there would be money showed up, but she also knew $500, extra money shows up, and she knew something was going to break. Like the brakes were going to go out and need that $500.
What is the money chaser story? You have a money chaser, and I love this money hot mess.
Yes. The money chaser is that person, they've always got that idea, they're investing in that new thing, this new business, it's never enough, and they just keep going after it and going after it. And so they're investing in, real estate courses one week, and, a DVD station the next week, and that type of thing. And then the hot mess is really just the person, they have enough money, they just don't look at it, and so it's just a hot mess. Like maybe they didn't have a lot growing up, so they weren't used to, having this extra to manage, and they just don't pay attention until they need to pay attention.
I know a few hot messes, I must admit.
I was the hot mess, so that was my original story.
Well, you had to go through that to now become an expert and tell us what to do with our money. So give us some tips.
Yeah. So one tip I always love to give is have a goal. So many people, it's like, I want more money, I just want more money, or I want this or that. But come up with that long-term goal. Like, where do you want to be in 20 years? Because if you think about, if you make $50,000 a year, 10 years from now, that's $500,000. In 10 years, you want to know, what do you want to have to show for that, so to speak? How do you want to be living, after having made that money? Number two is to look at the numbers. So many people don't even look, thing gets direct deposited. Even when they get a raise, sometimes people don't look and see that difference, because it changes, taxes, things like that, don't know the amount that's going in or coming out. And that just leaves it all up in the air. When you know the numbers, you can make adjustments.
Ignorance is not bliss.
It is not bliss.
Money, right?
Yeah.
And then another tip?
Yeah, my favorite is to just change the way you speak about money. My number one thing that I say is use the word invest instead of spend. Because when you think of it as an investment, okay, I'm making an investment in food, cool, I'm feeding my family. I've heard from moms that made them feel less guilty about that $200 grocery store bill. And then it also, when you go to buy that thing, it really puts your mind in check. Am I buying this just because I get that spending high? Or am I buying this because this is an investment in an outfit that I'm going to love and want to wear all the time? Or an investment in savings where I'm putting my money?
Some people really don't like budgets. Do you think they're important?
I think they're powerful. So I think people don't like them because they think it's restricting. Oh, then I have to stay within this. But if you really go into the budgeting process and you do it from a perspective of, okay, what do I want to spend? This is what we normally spend. Is this what we want to spend on this? Is this what we want to be investing in food, in our kids' college education and everything like that? Your brain will help you out. When you say, hey, our budget for this is $400 a month, your brain will help you stay on track. But when it's open-ended and it's like, whatever, it's like, okay, you know, there's no direction that you're giving your brain to help you follow that pattern.
Follow your brain. I like that. Your brain will always help you out. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for the tips and the book, and we're going to learn more about money just with your advice right there. Well, you can log on to CassieParks.com to get your copy of Cassie's book, and you want to stay with us after the break. We have the co-founder of a company that is helping parents in the Bay Area. We'll be right back.